Hey, and welcome into the Big Ten Huddle. I'm JR with known Iowa hater Zack Guggenheim today. Today we are talking about Connor Stalions taking to X Paul Fraudbaum's recent comments about Texas versus Ohio State and the SCORE Act. What is it? What do we need to know? What's going on with the House settlement? Why are NIL collectives acting the way they are? We are going to get into it all. But before we do, please do like, subscribe, comment on YouTube, drop a 5-star rating if you're listening on podcasts as well. And it really helps us out if you make that happen. So please do that. Even if you don't listen on podcasts, head on over there at some point during the episode, after the episode to do that. We would really appreciate it. Follow us on Twitter/X, TikTok, and Instagram at the Big Ten Huddle. You can catch the Big Ten Huddle every Monday through Friday on podcast or live on YouTube at 9 p.m. on Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday nights. Become a member and subscribe to our basketball channel as well on YouTube. Buy some Big Ten Huddle merch gear below. We got some new gear for you. You can check it out there. There's a link in the description. You can find all of the gear as well. Zach, at this point, you're the known Iowa hater. Jeff is the Nebraska hater, and according to X, I'm the Michigan hater. Actually, the YouTube comments as well. I'm the Michigan hater on the show. Is that pretty fitting to you?
I mean, I can for sure say that you do hate Michigan.
Okay.
And I can for sure say that Jeff and I also both hate Michigan as fans.
Gotcha.
But we try to put that bias aside for the show. We're all about facts here. We're all about facts. And even, I had Jeffrey the Greek was in my DMs earlier. I think, I don't want to say
as he should be defending.
Well, yeah.
He's defending his team.
He's
as
defending
he
his
should be.
people. Yeah, he's defending his people. And I do want to I want to offer a mea culpa. I did say that Jay Higgins was forgettable a couple weeks ago. He wasn't forgettable. I just didn't think he played up to the awards that he got this year. Really good player for Iowa. But my point is I am concerned about the defensive trajectory moving forward with their aging coaches. I think it's a valid question, but I overstated it. So mea culpa. I on my suspension, I had an epiphany that I needed to change how I was speaking about Iowa. Doesn't change my projection for them this season, but that's not to say that I don't I think Kirk Ferentz has been a good coach. I don't want people to think that I think he's this awful person or awful coach. He's very good. He's been very good. I just wonder if we're seeing the tail end. So if that's not enough for you Iowa fans, I'm sorry. That's as far as I'm going to go.
There you go. And hey, you get to check out on Thursday night. Jeff is going to be bringing some data about recruiting rankings and all that kind of stuff. Not necessarily pertinent to just Nebraska, but he's going to be taking that stuff on Thursday night as well for the Big Jeff Insights episode. Go on over there, check that out. A lot of good stuff from Jeff on Thursday nights as well. Nebraska fans, I know you're not too happy with Jeff right now, but give him a chance, see what he has to say. And you know what? Just keep watching him because it'll be that much sweeter if you prove him wrong and you win the national championship. So there you go. It's going to be that much better, right? So, all right, Zach, let's see who we have here in the chat with us. We got Max Paul Fraudbaum. He says, I like that. Philip he's saying that Captain Optimistic is me, Lieutenant Dream Crusher is you, and Sergeant Analytics is Jeff. That fitting?
I am often the dreamer in my marriage. So I feel like this is a new role. But I did say I was going heel last episode, so maybe I am the Dream Crusher.
Yeah, maybe you are. That's okay. It's a good role to have. We all need our roles, Zach.
Yeah, it's true.
There you go. Billy Tuesday says Feinbaum makes his asinine statement so Big Ten fans and others talk about him. I mean, it's not wrong. At this point, he's just an old man that gets on the TV and says crazy stuff and people talk about it, right?
I mean, Alabama's kind of collapsing right now, so what else is he going to talk about?
It's true. He has to bash all the Big Ten teams because he can't talk good about the about the other teams.
My first love is failing. What else do I do? More SEC propaganda. Get Big Ten fans to talk.
Billy says, hey, JR. Hey, Zach. Hey, Billy. Thanks for being here, man. Philip says you're the chairman of the Kirk Ferentz Retirement Parade and the host of the Fire Loxley Show. When do those premiere, Zach?
Probably around October of this season.
Good. I'll be looking forward to that episode. I'll be looking forward to it. All right. We got to get into this show. Got lots of comments. Thank you everybody for being here, but we have lots of fun things to talk about because Zach, the Netflix documentary was not enough. The ex-Michigan staffer who was he was the main sign stealer, the leader of the sign stealer operation for Michigan, Connor Stalions. He's taken to Twitter/X, whatever you want to call it, a tweet, post, whatever it is, reply to respond to the TCU coach Sonny Dykes' comments about Michigan's sign stealing during their 2022 college football playoff semifinal, as reported by Brett McMurphy. Now, we're not going to read the entire thing, but I will fill you in on what happened, and then we'll get Zach's thoughts. Sonny Dykes revealed that TCU was tipped off about Michigan's next level, quote-unquote, sign stealing system, prompting them to change play calls and use dummy signals, which helped secure their 51-45 upset victory. Quote, we had some intel that the sign stealing was going on, end quote, Sonny Dykes said, noting TCU's 263 rushing yards and favorable matchups due to altered signals. He sensed Michigan's frustration late in the game, saying they, quote, they were like, okay, these guys are hip to it, end quote. Stalions, however, dismissed the impact of TCU's adjustments, arguing the sign stealing is standard in football, and TCU's win came down to Michigan's turnovers and poor tackling. Quote, we lost because we turned the ball over and had a poor game tackling, end quote. Stalions posted emphasizing that TCU's air raid system relied on visible signals from the coordinator to the quarterback, which he tracked in real time because there was definitely nothing going on before the game, Zach. Of course, nothing going on there. He clarified that teams don't recycle signals to avoid confusing players, and he only focused on formations and pass protections, not route concepts. Stalions noted that some teams like Rutgers avoid signaling entirely, and Michigan itself didn't signal on offense. See, so they're just helping other teams out. They're not signaling at all. He argued that sign stealing doesn't determine outcomes, citing 7 games where he knew nearly every single signal of the opposing team, yet Michigan lost 3 of those games due to poor execution, not signs. In other words, it was all the players' fault and nothing was Connor Stalions' fault. Hope you got that, Zach.
Yes, I got it.
Okay, good. Quote, blocking, ball security, tackling, run fits, and coverage tools, that's football, end quote, he said, downplaying the correlation between signals and wins or losses while suggesting teams signal to gain tempo advantages. Long story short, Zach, sign stealing doesn't matter, apparently, but that's all Stalions did. But he really matters. But any game that they lost, it wasn't his fault and everybody else's fault. Did I get that right?
I think you pretty much covered everything.
Okay. All right. Good. Your thoughts? Connor's just an evil genius or whatever here, right?
You know, there's a proverb that says it is better for people to think you're a fool and to keep your mouth shut than to open your mouth and to remove all doubt. And I didn't get it fully right, but that's essentially the point of it. It's like sometimes just shut up, because the more you talk, the more you reveal yourself to be a fool. He does realize he is talking down to a head coach who's actually pretty good at his job, and he is a low-level staffer. That alone needs to force him to just be quiet. So that's one. Second, is he really going to go with the, we just didn't play really well, to a team that lost 65-7 the next game? Like, are we really doing this? Like, TCU didn't lose the next game. They didn't belong on the field. I mean,
that's just how historically good Georgia was, though, Zach.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. The same team that Ohio State probably should have won if Marvin Harrison doesn't get just depleted in the end of the end zone, okay? Remember that same Ohio State team that Michigan beat by 22 points.
True.
I just think this reeks of like self-importance. And I think what is so hypocritical in all of this is he goes on this massive explanation, and then people say, well, why this or why that? And then he responds, well, I can't comment on an ongoing NCAA investigation. Dude, you planted this to essentially try to remove doubt from the investigation. Like, that's what you're doing with this.
That was my favorite part of it all, was he goes on this long diatribe about everything, explains so much. He's been on a Netflix documentary. He's been on the Craning Company show. He was on 3 with J.D. Pickell. Like, he has been all of these places talking about this, but one Ohio State fan asks him, and it wasn't even like a ridiculous question.
It was a good question.
Yeah, like, I got to find it here. But essentially, he was just like, hey, if all this didn't matter, then why did you go like dress up on the Central Michigan sidelines? Like, if all of this stuff is just normal stuff that can happen and like everybody does it, like why would you go break the rules? And that's been my point this entire time with Jim Harbaugh. And fine, if you want to believe that Jim Harbaugh didn't know, fine, whatever. All right, but even then, how are you not just furious with Connor Stalions? Everybody admits it. Everybody admits that Michigan didn't need signs to win the national championship that season. But that's the problem with cheating. We'll never know. They probably still would have beat Nebraska. They probably still would have beat Rutgers. Like, they would have beat all of these teams. They had a cupcake schedule until it got to, no offense, Nebraska and Rutgers, but you know, at that point in time, you weren't necessarily the Oregons and the Ohio States of the Big Ten. It was a pretty easy schedule up until that point. And then that's when they started playing their tougher games. Maybe they would have lost. They probably wouldn't have lost, but like, we'll never know. And at the end of it all, even if this is vacated, I don't think it will be, but we'll see. Even if this national championship is vacated, Michigan fans have nobody to blame more. Yes, you have Jim Harbaugh to blame some, but I get the argument that he didn't know about it. I don't agree with it, but I get it. You have nobody to blame more than a guy who is a low-level staffer on your coaching staff that essentially could ruin the entire thing for the team, the players, everybody else who only wants to blame them if you lose. It's only their fault. It's never Connor Stalions' fault.
At this point, all I want for the punishment is for Connor Stalions to be banned from the game of football. Like, I don't care about the championship. I don't care about Harbaugh. I don't care. I care about the Matt Weiss situation. Like, that I care about because that's heinous at what that happened. But that's not what we're talking about. We're just talking about the sign stealing stuff. At this point, I don't care about any post-game stuff. I don't care about what Michigan's program happens. I just don't care anymore. Get this guy away from the game. I'm tired of him. And he's doing nothing but honestly ruining the game with his smug little act. And it's time to get him away from the game. I don't care how good he thinks he is. He reeks of self-importance and, quite honestly, reeks of narcissism. Get him away from the game.
Totally true. Totally true. I think Max put it really well here. He says, it's kind of even more embarrassing when you admit to cheating and then say it didn't make a difference. I mean, he still does say that, like, he didn't cheat, but it's obvious that what he did was at the very least borderline in the rule book. I would say it's cheating, but even if you're a Michigan fan, like, you can't say it wasn't at the very least borderline in the rule book. I'm trying to level with you here a little bit, Michigan fans, but and again, yeah, maybe Jim Harbaugh didn't know. Maybe he really was oblivious. I could actually see it happening. I don't believe it happened, but I could actually see it happening because Jim Harbaugh is just that kind of guy who can be a little oblivious and not really, like, he's just so much into football that he doesn't care what a low-level recruiting staffer is doing. He's like, oh, why is that guy next to Sherrod Moore? No, he doesn't even realize he's next to Sherrod Moore because Jim Harbaugh is just so into the game and so into doing his thing. I could see it, but still, it still is Jim Harbaugh's, job, his duty to know what's going on there. So, I mean, I didn't really want to talk about it today because I don't really want to talk about any of this until the punishment comes down, and then we can talk about it. Really, what I'd like to talk about more is just football in general. Wouldn't you, Zach?
I mean, we texted about this back and forth. It's like, we probably need to talk about this because reasons, but we much would have preferred to talk about, is Bryce Underwood going to break Chad Henne's records? That's what we were going to talk about. But because this guy decides to be a clown and say stupid things. And here's the thing that's frustrating. It's like, he doesn't need to say them. Like, yeah, if you don't play well, it doesn't matter if you have the signs. I get it. Like, that's true.
Right.
And like, if you don't tackle well, like, he makes a valid point. By the way, like JJ McCarthy played terribly in that game. And you could make an argument it was because of signs, but like he threw 2 pick sixes. Yeah, you're going to struggle to win any game when you do that.
Well, and
but
also
you don't have to
like
say it.
I mean, I don't think I'm giving away any secrets to football here or anything like that. When you know what's going on, you play more confidently. And when you play, it was a big reason that I gave with Indiana, not sign stealing, but like just Indiana's play last year. They were playing confident. They were playing carefree in a lot of ways, and they were just going out and playing their game and following their system very well. When you hesitate and when you think twice about something for a second, it can be the second between a guy running down the sideline and getting a touchdown versus you making the tackle on the side. Maybe you had poor tackling because everything that the other team was doing, you didn't know it was happening because you didn't have their signals because Sonny Dykes got tipped off and put it together. All right. I know I'm getting a little conspiracy theory here, Zach, but not really. I'm not really being conspiracy theory. It's a very logical argument.
Yeah, no. And I'm not trying to comment on the actual thing. I'm like, Connor, just stop talking. And like JD Pickell, I doubt he listens to us. Stop having him on your show. Stop giving this guy airtime because he's ruining football. I'm
okay if people have him on his show. I just don't want it to be a like praise fest the entire time.
That's what it's been.
Exactly. Like if you want to have him on your show, like Menace to Sports over there with Chris and Zach have been trying to get Connor on for a while now. I would love if they did that because I'm confident they're going to ask tough questions and they're actually going to have real dialogue about it and not like, oh, Connor, I heard that you and Bryce Underwood are buddy. Now tell us about the amazing friendship that you and Bryce Underwood have and how he is the godfather to your soon-to-be children. Like I don't even know if that was really a question, but that's what that's what the interviews sound like with Connor Stalions right now. So Billy Tuesday makes a really good point here. He said Harbaugh isn't less guilty if he somehow didn't know. Exactly. I wasn't trying to say that like Harbaugh wasn't guilty or something like that. It's just, to me, like I can somewhat understand if people say I'm not mad at Jim Harbaugh because he didn't know. Obviously, you still need to have institutional control. You still need to know what's going on with your with your staff and everything like that. But I could see not being upset with Jim Harbaugh if you believe he didn't know. I don't see how you're not upset with Connor Stalions. I don't get it.
Yeah. Agreed. Max has a pretty good comment real quick, and then I don't know if you want to move on, but
sure,
I want to move on. But he makes a good point. Big Ten Huddle to interview Connor Stalions when? Only credible people to perform an interview. Agreed, Max. Except I might yell at him too much. So let's maybe not. Maybe have
Zach
Jeff
would
do
lose
it.
his credibility for yelling too much.
I think only if Jeff can be on that night instead of me, because Jeff is like even keel. It's all about the data. He could actually get some really good questions into Connor and be like, so like, how much did the sign stealing affect this play? Yeah. And like, because the data says this, and then it'd be over.
Yeah. No, I think it'd be fun if we got him on here, but yeah, I don't think he's coming on anytime soon, especially if he listens to this episode and heard everything we just said. So, yeah, probably not coming on. So, all right, let's get to Texas and where's that comment at? I'm gonna take that down. All right, let's get to Texas and Ohio State. Zach, Paul Feinbaum made a very confident prediction that Texas will, quote, definitely beat, end quote, Ohio State in their August 30th, 2025 season opener at Ohio Stadium. He is banking heavily on Arch Manning, declaring, I love this quote here, Zach, I am as married to Arch Manning as an old geezer like me can be to a young, great college quarterback. Wow. But I like everything about him, end quote. Weird. But Paul Feinbaum insists, quote, the Manning name matters, but it isn't going to matter on that field in a couple of weeks, it's not a couple of weeks, at Ohio State, the experience of being an understudy to Quinn Ewers and understanding Steve Sarkisian's system is what's going to get them over the top, end quote. Yet Ohio State, fresh off a national title and a 28-14 rout of Texas in last year's playoff semifinal, is a 3-point home favorite for a reason. The Buckeyes under Ryan Day last year thrived in high-stakes games matchups, beating 7 of the top 8 teams at one point in the season, while Manning's resume is just 12 games as Ewers' backup. He had 2 starts against, ready for these juggernauts here, Zach?
Yeah.
Louisiana Monroe and Mississippi State. They are combined 7 of 17 against them in 2024. With a 66.3% completion percentage, 969 yards, 9 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. Zach, I know SEC honks say there's no easy games in the SEC, but those opponents severely lack the weight of a challenge of the national champions, Ohio State, in Columbus. Feinbaum even admitted his bias, saying, quote, "I don't like Ohio State. I think Ohio State is going to lose the opener against Texas, and they are going to struggle to make the playoffs," end quote. The blatant SEC bias, it's just an awful excuse for real college football analysis and ignores the Buckeyes' depth and home field advantage. Texas has improved under Steve Sarkisian, no doubt. We got to give him credit where credit is due. But Feinbaum's hype overlooks Ohio State's proven dominance. But it's not just Feinbaum, Zach. Tons of people are very confident in Texas. I'm not sure I see it. This game, don't get me wrong, it could go either way, but Zach, guaranteeing a win on either side seems like a fool's errand to me.
Remember that proverb I started the show with?
That's going to be very relevant in today's show, yes.
Cut and paste to Feinbaum. I don't know how much more. I think you summed up my thoughts perfectly.
Oh, okay.
Like, I think it's very possible that Texas wins. Like, I think there's still question marks around Julian Sayin with his preparation. I think Texas, while they lost a lot of players, they have a lot of, they bring back some good players, including in the secondary. Michael Taffy, Muhammad in the secondary. I believe Anthony Hill's back at linebacker. They're going to be strong at all 3 levels of defense. They've got playmakers on the outside. Their offensive line's good. So, Texas could win. Arch Manning, I think, is going to be really good. But
what does Arch Manning have that Julian Sayin doesn't? I don't get it, Zach.
And that's my point. I think he's going to be really good, but he hasn't proven anything. Even the 4th down he converted in the Cotton Bowl, he almost fumbled that ball.
Yeah, he's got athleticism, don't get me wrong, but Julian Sayin also ran the ball for 20 yards in garbage time last year. I'll get it. Albeit it wasn't against Ohio State in the playoff game, but still, he had pretty fleet feet too. It wasn't like he was out there with concrete shoes.
Well, and I don't even care about the quarterback comparison at this point. The 2 best players on the field are in Columbus, and that's not just in this game. That's in the country. Nobody's better than Jeremiah Smith and Caleb Downs. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say they might be 1 and 2 in this year, or 1 and 2. If they were drafted, they would be 1 and 2. I think. Maybe not because Caleb Downs is a safety, but
yeah, I totally agree with you. I somewhat understand the Arch Manning edge because he is older and he has started 2 games. I get the edge there, but it's not. There's nothing hugely significant. And I should say, Julian Sayin is a Heisman favorite too. He's top 4 in odds as well as Arch Manning right now. So in terms of odds, Julian Sayin is a Heisman favorite right now as well. So that's another thing. I don't get the love for Arch Manning and zero respect for Julian Sayin. I'm not even saying you got to say you're married to Julian Sayin, okay? Weird quote, Paul, but whatever. I'm not even saying you have to say that. I'm just saying respect the guy, right? He's an Elite 11 winner. He was an awesome recruit. He went to the SEC first, and then when Nick Saban retired, he came to Ohio State in the Big Ten. So, I would think there'd be some SEC bias that carries over there, but I guess not. And then as far as I'm concerned, I think everybody is sleeping way too much on this Ohio State offensive line. I was reading an article the other day from a Texas writer as I was trying to think through this game a little bit more, where he said Texas has the biggest edge at offensive line of any position group. He said Texas has the biggest edge at offensive line. Zach, do you know how many starters they lost on their offensive line to the NFL draft?
Right?
Four.
Yeah.
They had one guy who came in and played left tackle, or was it right tackle? Left or right tackle after an injury. I think he played in the Ohio State game. So technically they lost 3 at the end of the season. But still, 4 of your starting offensive line. And Ohio State brings back 4 of their biggest contributors in the playoffs last year. And they bring in Ethan Onyanwa, who's a transfer left tackle that people were talking about. He could have gone to the draft this year and been a 2nd or 3rd round pick. So, I mean, there is literally no other explanation. I get Paul Feinbaum for SEC bias, but when it comes to some of this other stuff, like some of the matchup stuff where you're just guaranteeing, I'm not saying picking Texas. If you want to pick Texas, that's fine. Yeah. If you're like, this game's close, but I think I'm going to go with Texas, I get that. But the whole like guaranteeing, there's no doubt Texas is going to win this game, it's nothing but SEC bias.
Yeah, well, and I think that is proven in even what he's saying. Like he even said he has a bias. So we know it. He doesn't even need to say it. That's just been his track record. PSU Jim, right on it, right?
Love it, PSU
SEC
Jim.
Hack. But
is it hack or honk? Is it hack?
It's both. It's both.
Okay. Right,
it's a hack honk. I don't know.
But hack honk.
Edit that out.
No, I love it. I'm keeping it.
Okay. New shirt. I think the thing that is driving me a little up the wall is like everybody's saying that he's gonna be the best college quarterback since Tim Tebow. I think Feinbaum said that. I think people in the SEC network said that. And again, I think it's okay to hype this guy because he was a 5-star. He has the Manning name. He's shown that he has skills. I think my problem with it, though, is like, dude, like, let's see him play some real competition before we anoint him. Mm-hmm. Like, that's what we're doing with Julian Sand. And he was the number 1 quarterback, and people are really excited about his arm strength. So if anything, it's actually a disservice to Arch. Like, because if Arch Manning goes into Columbus and throws for 300 or 400 yards, people will be like, oh, man, yeah, see, we were right. But if he's, like, throws for 220 and is, like, 20 of 35 and throws a pick and they lose by 2 scores, like, he's going to be like Kyle McCord for Ohio State, which is, like, every week, get him out. Who's the next guy? Yeah. And, like, so if anything, in all of this, I actually feel pretty bad for Arch. Because now, and I think he's going to be great. Like, I really do. But this dude who gets paid to be a hack basically just put a load of pressure on a kid that you don't need to do that for. So I don't know. This is more of my frustration with media, where it's like, can we slow down before we like anoint people? Because that's either going to, it's not going to help them ultimately.
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. And Dave, he's basically just a springboard to talk about stuff, but you're exactly right. Who cares what he says, right? Who cares what Paul says? It's literally just his job to get on there and say outlandish stuff and have other people talk about it. More than anything, I just see him as a springboard to talk about stuff and I guess to put his name in the news. On3 loves him. I mean, just about every word he says. I think when he says I love my wife, they're tweeting out what he's saying at this point. Yeah. So,
by the way, I think that's the face he made when Oklahoma scored their last touchdown against Alabama.
Oh yeah, accurate. Oh man. The only other thing I'll ask you, and then we'll move on. Did you see what he said about Penn State?
No, because I try not to spend a lot of time listening to Paul Feinbaum. But what was the ridiculous thing he said about Penn State?
So essentially he just said that Penn State's the team that's under the most pressure this season out of anybody in college football, which in fairness, I think you said the same thing about Ohio State last year. So it's not like he's picking on Penn State. It's just, the Big Ten, but that I don't know if I disagree with.
Yeah. Well, even a blind.
I think Clemson has a lot of pressure too, but Clemson has the 2 national titles previously to look back on, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah. No. Penn, I said even a blind squirrel finds a nut. He's not wrong though, and I think that's my big question. I think both for Drew Aller and James Franklin is, can they be okay under pressure, and can they flourish, or will they shrink? And so far, Penn State fans might get mad at me, but I think Drew Aller has shrunk a little bit more in big games and against big competition. I think the Penn State Notre Dame kind of bore that. Penn State Notre Dame playoff game, I think, bore that out a little bit. But
you think about it last season. You think about it last season. There were 3 distinct plays in each game. One of them I don't think was his fault. The other one I think was more on James Franklin than it was on him, but I still think he deserves some blame for it. The interception against Ohio State in the end zone, that was more on the wide receiver than Drew Aller. That was basically dropped by the wide receiver, and the cornerback for Ohio State, I believe it was Igbinosun, kind of just fell into his lap and he got it. So I think that was more on the wide receiver. The throw in the Oregon game, I still look back at that and I'm like, what in the world were you thinking? First play of the drive, and you have a chance to go down and tie it against Oregon. You throw that ball, if you don't know, it was a go route, and he just basically looked the receiver down the entire time, and the Oregon team intercepted it. Was it the cornerback or the safety intercepted it? It was a telegraphed throw. And then the other one was the throw in the Notre Dame game at the end of the game. Like I said, I still put that more on James Franklin than I do Drew Aller, because I think you had the better team in that one, and you could have safely went into overtime knowing you win that game. The way you were able to run the ball, the way you were tiring down Notre Dame, but they didn't get to it, and they went for the win, and they eventually lost it. It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
So,
agreed.
All right. Michael, I totally agree. Michael says it should be a good game and could go either way. Early season games are much different than late season games, and that's the biggest thing too, right? Like, the most hype talking about this game is in the preseason, because come playoff time, not a whole lot of people are going to be referencing this game as a reason Ohio State or Texas should be in or should be out, because it's going to be so early on in the season. These are the type of games that I wish more teams played on opening weekend, which we do get a fair amount. LSU, Clemson, Alabama, Florida State, Ohio State, Texas. We are getting some good games in week 1. Don't get me wrong, but I'd like to see some more Big Ten teams play some big games. Northwestern, Tulane, Ohio State, Texas are pretty much our big games in week 1.
Yeah.
All right. Zach, we have one more conversation to have. And that conversation is about the SCORE Act. All right. A lot has been happening in the world of NIL and the House settlement recently. And a lot of this, I told you, I'm just going to be honest, not trying to boast here, but I'm just going to be honest. I told you this would happen. But of course, everyone wanted to listen to ESPN and the media talking heads about who had no idea what they were talking about. So my guy Juck on Bucks, me and him were saying this from the beginning. This is all House settlement stuff all this stuff would work out, right? It would have challenges, but it would work out, is what I said. And the House settlement is doing exactly what it's supposed to do, cleaning up the mess of NIL in college sports, and it's a it's a tad quicker advancing than I had thought that it would, which is awesome. So I guess that's where I was wrong, and I didn't think it would go this fast. For years, NIL collectives have been running wild, doing pay for play, essentially making the bag man legal by really just funneling booster cash to athletes as pay for play deals, which is never really what NIL was supposed to be about. But the NCAA stinks. We have it on a t-shirt. Go buy it on the shop. And they couldn't do anything about it. The College Sports Commission, with Deloitte's help through NIL Go, is cracking down hard, reviewing every deal over $600, and they've rejected nearly 100% of the collective-driven deals because they don't have a valid business purpose. Exactly. actually selling, like if you have to actually be selling products or services to the public, the way pro athletes get endorsements, right? Sneakers, cars, TV shows. Instead, collectives are just paying kids to pick a school and that's it. That's not NIL though. It's cheating dressed up as something else. Schools are now being forced to bring these collectives in-house to avoid players getting suspended for taking shady deals that the school has no control under. Because let's be real, if you're not playing, nobody is paying you. Nobody is paying you if you're not playing, and so these deals don't mean anything unless you're eligible to play. It's like you get benched for bad grades or breaking team rules, right? You're not eligible, the coach will bench you for those things. It's the same thing here. You can still get the deal, but you just can't play. But man, people are losing it over this, acting like it's some injustice and players aren't allowed to be played. And the NCAA, they don't see this for what it is. NCAA should have done this years ago instead of consistently losing power and fumbling every single court case they possibly could. This is what they should have done 5 to 10 years ago, set clear rules and stick to them. Then there's the SCORE Act, introduced in Congress, which is the cherry on top. It's got bipartisan support. I'm not trying to get too political here, but I'm just trying to give you the facts. It's got bipartisan support that lays out national framework for NIL, wiping out the patchwork of state laws that Tennessee and Michigan have been trying to make happen, but made everything a mess. Like I said, these state laws were never actually going to go somewhere. It let athletes earn their name, image, and likeness, but puts guardrails in place, the SCORE Act, that is. Schools can share up to 22% of average revenue, right? All this stuff you guys have known, provide legal and financial advice as well, and cover health care for 3 years after graduation. It stops athletes from being classified as employees, regulates transfers, and caps the agent fees at 5% because some of those guys were charging nearly 20%, right? This was the true injustice on the players. They were losing 20% of their NIL earnings to agents. Regardless of what you think about the return of the bag man, which I get it, coming back to cheat the SEC, this is better for the players as they will make money, receive health protection, and be given guidance for making smart financial decisions with their earnings. The SCORE Act's got the bag man covered with real punishment, right? We're have to see it in action first, but from everything we hear, there are real punishments that could happen. We already heard that they're willing to kick schools out of conferences, not just slap them on the wrist type of stuff that the old NCAA was doing that would take forever, right? 2-3 years down the road, you're finally getting punished. It's not what the College Sports Commission is about. Collectives are fighting tooth and nail to stay relevant, but their models of paying players to enroll instead for real endorsements doesn't hold water. Schools are taking control, and that's good for the game and good for the players. Might not mean they're making $5 million anymore, but it's good for them. I'm baffled why so many disagree with this, claiming it's unfair for athletes or collectives. This isn't about stopping kids from making money. It's about making sure what is supposed to be done is done right with structure and fairness. Don't listen to the media heads who are talking about, this is never going to work. This is never going to happen. They don't understand it. They don't understand what's going on in this whole scenario. They don't understand. They're stuck in the past. They're just thinking of the NCAA losing in court. This isn't the NCAA anymore. They're missing how this system is finally fixing college sports for the better. Zach, do you agree? Do you disagree? What are your thoughts? Thank you. Thank you.
JR for president, everybody. That's what I think.
I'm trying here.
Or commissioner for the NCAA. So I agree 100%.
Hold on. This comment from Philip was priceless. Do it, JR. Get political. It can't become a disaster. That was awesome. Sorry, go ahead.
Yes. Anyway, I agree 100%. This is sorely needed. We've been saying it, that there was a deep need for regulation, and it sets rules. I know a lot of people don't like big government, and I get that. Like, I'm one of them. I don't like big government, but you need it for this.
Well, and
This is
it was never supposed to be big government. It was supposed to be the NCAA. We were never
Right.
rooting for big government to get in charge, which is
Right.
fine. If you like bigger government, that's fine. I'm not trying to get your political views here. I'm just saying at the end of the day, this should have been the NCAA, but they decided to sit on their hands and crap their pants and say, "Oh, here we are now." Sorry, I've got some NCAA hate tonight. I should have worn my NCAA stink shirt.
You should have.
Yeah.
You're like more fiery than I was at the beginning of the episode.
That's hard to do.
Yeah. Not resist the temptation to be snarky right now. Okay. I think everything about this though, it's not meant like it is going to result in less money for athletes, particularly for like the biggest ones. But there's still opportunities for every single player. They are going to get paid. They're not going to get paid as much, but the whole impetus for all of this is for them to make what they're worth. They were not making what they were worth. They were making above and beyond because there was corruption throughout the system, because it was the Wild Wild West, because there were no rules. So I think it's what, to your point, it's what the NCAA should have done. It's why Congress had to get involved. And like one of the things that Adam Brenneman tweeted about with this, it's actually going to give the NCAA power to regulate transfers and eligibility, which I don't know how I feel about that because the NCAA screws everything else up. But at least they now have the backing to do it and hopefully do it well. So that's.
But I think the thing we need to remember is that this isn't just the NCAA. Like the NCAA is allowed to be in charge of some things. The CSC could have came in and taken care of all of this and just decided this is what it is now. They allowed the NCAA to still be involved, and they're saying, "Look, you can't screw this up, right? You just fix the transfer. You have one job, fix." The transfer portal. That is basically your job. All right. We're not going to have anybody try to take you to court. Just do that. We'll see if the NCAA can handle it. But I mean, as long as they have the backing of Congress, I mean, they already have the backing of a federal judge. Like, this is what I was saying from the beginning. They had the backing of a federal judge. This was going to be solid enough to give them time to figure something out, like like an antitrust or a sharing or whatever. Like, they had the time to do that, or the SCORE Act. They had the time because they got the federal judge in charge. Was this going to last for 15 years? Heck no. Heck no, it wouldn't. It would eventually be destroyed, but it gave you enough time to be able to do the SCORE Act, which if the SCORE Act is put into place July 1st in a year, July 1st, 2026 is when it's put in place, and all this stuff gets instantly better.
Yep. Yeah. Although Philip does make a good point. You can't screw this up.
Hold my beer. And the CSC is like, hold my hand, we'll walk through and do this together.
I think this episode may single-handedly be the most merchandising, like we might be able to make the most merchandise out of this episode. Like,
well, I didn't even tell him about the hat, Zach. I didn't even tell him about the hat. Did you see the hat?
You showed me the hat. I'm proud of you, by the way. I'm excited for you to reveal the hats. But I agree. I agree with everything that you said. I don't know if we need to talk more. I just think we needed regulation, and this is what it is.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I didn't try to take every talking point at the beginning. I had a list of things that I wanted to hit. And I had them on my computer. I'm like, I got to hit all these things and make sure I hit them because they all need to be said. So.
It was like if you were defending a bill in Congress and you did admirably.
Wow. All right. The political huddle coming soon.
No.
Zach's not the co-host. We're going to get I don't know. I don't want to name a political figure because
don't do that.
I'll start something. All right. Okay, Zach. Anything else to get to? SCORE Act, Connor Stalions, Paul Feinbaum, Fraud Bomb. Sorry. Anything else you want to get to there before we end this portion of the episode?
No, I think we've done quite admirably. I will say Jeff just offered, I think, a thoughtful counter just for us to think about. So he says it's such uncharted water, so I am not sure. I do think a consulting firm like Deloitte signing up to be the clearinghouse is a good sign. I don't think they would get involved unless it might work. And I think You're right, Jeff. I really want to affirm that because I think that's why there was such hesitation, not just by Congress, but by all the talking heads, is because is it really going to work? Because this is uncharted. But the reality is NIL was uncharted too. And so I think we've been saying it since we started working together, JR. Like there had to be some regulation, and finally something is happening. And I think with regulation, my guess is there will be kinks to this that have to be ironed out, but you got to start somewhere. That I think that's my thought. And clearly, if Deloitte is getting involved, they are on board with at least the direction of where this is going.
Deloitte doesn't get involved unless they see the potential here, right? I mean, they would not get involved. Congress wouldn't have, not Congress, the federal judge wouldn't have approved this. I know everybody points back to that Supreme Court ruling ages ago, or not ages ago, it was probably 4 or 5 years ago. And I get that, but at the same time, not everything that the Supreme Court ruled on, I don't want to get into it because that's even more politics, but not everything they ruled on is what's being talked about here. I think the main thing that I think people are missing here is that the CSC is not saying, you can't take this deal. You can't take it, right? They're not saying anything like that. They say, sure, take the deal. But if you take that deal, you're no longer eligible for college football. And let's be honest, is Nike still going to sponsor Jeremiah Smith if Jeremiah Smith can't play football? Maybe, because he has that much potential to go to the NFL and stuff, but they're definitely not going to do it with the linebacker at, Michigan State, who they don't know if he's going to be an NFL player or not. Sorry, Michigan State. I'm not trying to take shots at you. I'm just thought of a random school. I'm going to draft one of your linebackers in the draft here in a minute, so don't, maybe you'll like me after that. But
that's what you think.
Oh, unless Zach takes him, sorry. But I think that's the biggest thing that people are missing here is this is not the NCAA saying you can't have this money. This is the CSC, the College Sports Commission, saying you can take this money, sure, but Deloitte just said it's not a valid business deal. So if you take it, you will not be eligible. And we'll see if the company still wants to make that deal with you. And that's the problem with the collective deals, is the collective say, sure, let's keep making the deal because this is what people donated their money for. But it doesn't actually impact them because it's not actually valid business.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
And that was the other thing I wanted to remind people about was I never said this is going to be what it is till the end of time and everything is done at this point. All I said was there will be challenges, but this will stay in place long enough that they can get collective bargaining or an antitrust or something put in place that's going to, take it to the next level.
Yeah. I know we gotta wrap up for the second half of the episode, but I do want to say, Ilana Bubba says Deloitte gets involved if they make money. LOL doesn't need to work to make money, guys. I agree, but if this tanks, it will tank reputations, and that will screw things up in the long run for Deloitte.
Well, sure, and they'll make money in the short run. You're right, Ilana and Bubba, but I mean these big companies like this, they're not interested in making a quick buck, right? They want to invest in something that they are going to continue to make money with, and they're going to continue to work on. You know what I'm saying? Deloitte doesn't want to get into this for a year and be like, well, that was a nice thing we did, So you're right, Illini Bubba. Their main goal is to make money. You're correct there. But I think they look at this as this is going to be a long-standing thing and not just something that's got to happen for a year or two or a month or two. Yeah.
I mean,
some people are saying
the best businesses are not thinking, how do I make the short-term work? They're thinking long-term business model. So
if the school rec doesn't go through, then I think we're right back to where we were, and there's a possibility that it won't happen. But we'll see what happens. Typically, No, I'm not going to get into politics. All right, Zach, good episode. We are going to switch on over to the part 2. So if you're listening on podcast, we're going to say goodbye to you for now. Thank you so much for listening. If you're on here on YouTube, stick with us. We are going to stick around. Zach and I are going to get into our Big Ten draft. We are going to put together our Big Ten teams for next season. 18 spots, 18 teams. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. So we are going to do that. If you're listening on podcast, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it. Check us out tomorrow. Check us out Tuesday. Check us out Thursday night or Friday morning with Jeff and his big insights as well. Zach, any final thoughts before we move on to the second part of the episode?
No. I'm ready to move away from Paul Feinbaum and Connor Stalions.
Very good. So am I. All right. Let's get to the second part here, and we'll get going. All right. Hey, and welcome into the Big Ten Huddle. It's me and Zach, as we are going to have a lot of fun in this episode. Not a whole lot of research and season previews or anything like that. In this episode, we're doing a Big Ten football draft. We have devised a lineup of 18 players, and we will have to pick one player from every Big Ten team and see which team performs better this year. Before we get started, please do like, subscribe, comment on YouTube, or leave us a 5-star review on the podcast platform that you're listening on. It really does help the show. We very much appreciate it. Follow us on Twitter/X, TikTok, and Instagram at the Big Ten Huddle. And remember, you can catch the Big Ten Huddle every Monday through Friday on podcast or live on YouTube at 9 p.m. Eastern Time on Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday nights. Become a member. Subscribe to our basketball channel on YouTube and buy some Big Ten Huddle merch. We got some new stuff, new hats, all those things. It's going to be a good time. All right, we'll bring Zach back in. Zach, are you ready to draft the best lineup for the Big Ten draft?
I mean, there are certain teams that I have to draft that are going to make this not the best team. So, no. But I'll do it.
But you'll make it happen. All right. Excellent.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll draft a team. I don't know if it's the A.
Here's how this is going to work. If you're listening on podcasts, you don't see the notes here. But if you are here on YouTube, you can see everything that's going on over here. We have our Big Ten draft board over here. We are each drafting one quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, 1 tight end, an entire O-line. So whatever team that is in the O-line, and then 2 defensive ends/edges, 2 defensive tackles, 3 linebackers. They can be outside linebackers. They can be middle linebackers, whatever. And then cornerbacks, 2 cornerbacks, and 2 safeties. That adds up to 18 players, which gives us 18 teams in the Big Ten. Zach, we each have to draft one player from every Big Ten team. Was this a difficult thing for you to prep?
Ask me when we're done.
It was a fun exercise, I think. And I'm going to have a whole lot of fun drafting these because it did force you, if we were just going to do a draft, it would be like Ohio State, Oregon, Penn State, maybe an Iowa player, Minnesota player, an Illinois player here and there. But like making it so it has to be one of every Big Ten team, I think makes it really fun.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I'm giving you a little bit of a hard time. I think it was actually really enlightening to me of like where different teams have, I think, potential and opportunity in different rooms. I am excited. I think I might win some points back with certain fan bases. I think I also might. No, I don't know if I'm going to garner any hate because.
Well, you have to draft one from every team, so.
I know, but
unless they hate the player that you draft.
Yeah, and that's fair. I think there are a couple teams where depending on how we draft in the order, I think I go for a player that I think could pop at a team over a potential more solid and sure thing. But I think I'm trying to think, how can I have the best team? And also it's just hard. It was a hard exercise, but I actually really did enjoy it.
Me too. Jeff says, Zach, if you falter, he will volunteer to take the flag and finish the draft for you.
It's like the Hunger Games. I volunteer as tribute.
Except you don't die in this one, so that's nice. We just had an influx of people coming in here. Blue Wolverine with the members emojis there. We can't see them on screen, but you can see them in the chat. Trojan Fight is here. What's going on, guys? What's up, Trojan Fight? Excited for this draft. Philip with a banger says new show name, Big Ten Congress.
Veto. Veto.
Veto. Pitt Snipe Husker here says, "Hey all," and we there we go. We got PK. Prove it, Zach. He's wanting you to prove your Indiana bringing it back there.
I actually have a number of Indiana players that I am considering taking at many positions.
Good.
So
good. And of course, Bobby Mack here as well. Hey all. Hey Bobby Mack. Appreciate you being here. All right. Chat, please let us know who would you like to go first. First person to respond with me or Zach. Please let us know who would you like to go first, me or Zach. We get the edge based on who you pick to be the first one to pick. So we're going to wait for one of you guys to say either JR or Zach in the chat, and whoever gets their name played first. Bobby Mack is on my team. I appreciate it, Bobby Mack. It's JR. All right, so I get the first pick. Zach, here's my strategy. I am going to pick the teams that I think are the most difficult to pick first, so I will inevitably piss off these fan bases by picking their players first, and that's okay. I am going to go with one CJ Nunley from Purdue, defensive end, as my very first pick. Look at that, Zach. A Purdue player is the very first player picked in the Big Ten draft. Who would have thought?
Wow. Wait, okay, so you're drafting, and it doesn't have to stay with the position. It can just be anybody.
What do you mean?
So, like, do I have to pick an edge now?
No, you can pick whatever you want.
Oh, okay. That's...
Bobby said he resents his pick. Is it because I picked a Purdue player first? That's hilarious, Bobby.
Okay. Okay.
Are you going to pick a Purdue player, Northwest? Or are you just going to go right out of the gate with an Ohio State player? What are you going to do?
I don't know. I was expecting we were going to go quarterback all the way down to. So this no. That just changes my thought. Okay, I'm actually going to go running back.
Okay.
And I'm going to go with a team that's kind of middle of the road that I think could be really good, but I think he's going to get the lion's share of carries.
Okay.
And going to be one of, if not the leading rusher in the Big Ten, and that's Jonah Coleman, Washington.
You dirty, dirty dog. Darn. I should have picked Jonah Coleman first. That messes up my entire board now. All right.
Does it really? I'm so sorry.
No, don't say sorry. You want to try to beat me. We're competitive, Zach.
Okay. I mean,
we're destroying each other here.
Ha.
Take that. Okay. All right. I'm going to stick with my strategy. I'm not going to deviate. And I am going to pick Aiden Hubbard, Northwestern, as my other defensive end.
Okay.
I almost picked Northwestern first, but there were two guys I was ready to go with, so I was okay with that. Yeah. So I'm going to go Aiden Hubbard, defensive end.
I was just realizing one thing. If you're picking all the lesser guys first, that means I don't have to worry about if they're not in positions that I care about, then I don't have to worry about them.
I guess that's true. Now you can pick I didn't think this through. Shoot.
Aha. Also,
okay, now I got to start picking good plays.
Wait, aren't we doing snake?
No, what's two people? How do you do snake with two people? It'd be two picks.
That's fair. Well, you can still do it. Anyway, I feel like I'm getting the shaft. Well, I'm getting the shaft, but I'm not getting the shaft. Okay. I don't need to. I am.
You just stole one of my favorite players to pick in the entire thing.
I did. I'm sorry. Yeah. I'll be fair. I told you I was going to pick him at the pre-show because. So I'll just go ahead. I'm going to pick Nico at quarterback. And I don't love it. But I do think in terms of getting every team in, I had 4 quarterbacks I thought about picking. And I'll just tell you, I thought about Julian Sayin, but I'm like, there are too many good Ohio State players other than Julian Sayin. I thought about Dante Moore, but again, I think there's too many good players in Oregon, like at different positions. And the other guy I really thought about was Fernando Mendoza.
I thought about him too, but I felt like there were defensive players that would get me more opportunity with their stats.
Yeah.
So that's why I didn't go Fernando Mendoza. Well, I haven't gone yet, but I will not be choosing Fernando Mendoza.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Just to point out, Jeremiah's number one. Are you guys nuts? We could literally pick an Ohio State player at any place, and it'd be one of the better players. I don't feel like I think the issue we're running into, Jeff, is that if we want to pick certain players from certain teams, we have to pick them first, which runs the risk of whether we are going to get Jeremiah Smith or not. So,
right, and that's the thing, right? Like with an Ohio State player, you pick them early, and then you're boxed into a corner because you might not get the Purdue player you want, and then you could be picking a Purdue player with all those transfers that you're not even sure is going to start at cornerback, and you're going to pick him as your cornerback. But with Ohio State, I could pick Julian Sayin, Jeremiah Smith, James Peoples, the offensive line, Max Clare. Like I could pick so many players from Ohio State, so. Honestly, like I'll be picking my Ohio State player probably last, because that's the other piece of it. Here is I'm actually going to pivot. I'm going to take Denzel Boston at wide receiver because now I know I have to get a Washington player, and I was going to take Jonah Coleman at running back. But worst comes to worst, I can just take James Peoples at running back now instead of having to choose somebody's backup running back or something like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's fair.
Not backup running back, but a running back that I don't think would be as good. So, I'll choose Denzel Boston there.
Yeah. I'll just say, Alina Bubba, I thought about Altmaier at quarterback, but there's too many good positions for Illinois.
We're going to go by stats on who wins this, and I think like Altmaier's going to win you games, but Altmaier isn't going to throw for 4,000 yards.
That's also fair.
I mean, not Nico isn't either, but he's going to fill up the stats more than Altmaier will most likely, but Altmaier will still be the better player in my opinion.
Yeah.
So.
I'll just one other thing with Jeff. Ohio State has two unicorns that I'm interested in.
Ohio State has a ton of unicorns. Max Clare, Jeremiah Smith, Caleb Downs.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I could take a unicorn at any point in time.
And yet I'm probably not picking Ohio State to win the Big Ten. But
it's the same reason I'm not taking a defensive lineman from Michigan because I got my pick of 4 that I could take real easy. TJ Guy, Derek Moore, Rayshon Betty. Like, who do I want?
Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna go Maryland here at tight end, Dorian Fleming.
Well,
did I just take your?
Yeah, I wanted him too, so it's actually a good thing that I haven't chose my Ohio State guy because now I'll have to probably flex Max Clare to tight end.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay, Zach. Larry's proud of you. Okay. Well, so Jeff says Clare is only really good, but for stats purposes, in the Big Ten, he's going to be one of the best tight ends in.
That's fair.
So. I get what you're saying, but still for stats purposes. Okay. All right. Let's see. What is another one? Oh, okay. I'm going to take him because you've taken all the other ones that I really like. This does not go with my theme of taking teams that don't have very many options, but I really want this player, so I'm going to take Coy Parrish.
No. Okay.
I feel like I have some opportunities, interception leader in the Big Ten last year, have some opportunities with him in different areas. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Coy Parrish there.
Okay. Then I'm all right. I have to flex something here.
No, Philip, he can't get them both. He can only pick one, either Smith or Downs. He can't get them both.
Yeah.
But he does have the pick, probably. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That does change things a little bit. Let me figure out what I'm doing here. That was a good
part.
pick.
You come into this with a plan and then one pick and you're like, oh no.
Yeah. Yeah.
What are you thinking?
I think I may have to give you Jeremiah Smith. Possibly. I don't know yet. We'll see. We'll see how this goes.
Okay.
Possibly. We'll see. I'm going to take Nick Marsh for wide receiver, Michigan State.
Okay. Not a bad pick. I like what you're thinking there. All right. Nick Marsh. Okay. Let's see. My next pick. I'm looking at my Purdue, my Northwestern. I have. I've already taken UCLA, so I don't need to take UCLA. I do think there is a smaller amount of. See, I don't want to finish out. Like, I shouldn't have finished out my edges and my defensive ends there. I'm a little concerned that I did that. You know what? I think this guy's going to be a really hot commodity. So I'm just going to go ahead and take him. Gabe Yuckas, Illinois.
Yeah, that's good.
So that's my Illinois player. That's another reason why I wasn't taking Luke Altmaier is because I want Gabe.
Yep. Yeah.
So I will go with Yuckas there.
That's a good pick.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But it makes it easier because now you don't have, that, like, if you have an Illinois guy, you're not going to get it stolen from you,
Yeah. I'm gonna. Oh, I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do here.
Max says for Illinois, somebody has to go Pons or Fisher or Kamara. If I can, I will take one of those guys, but I was anticipating Zach was going to pick another one. But I actually have a sleeper pick for Indiana that I was going to take. I'm interested to see what Zach does.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what I'm going to do here. What do I want to do?
DK says Max Surratt would be the number 2 wide receiver behind Smith. Yeah, he's another really good one you can take from Indiana. I'm just chatting it up here with the chat, so we have some kind of sound going on for the podcast, Zach. Yeah. So you just interrupt me whenever you're ready.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I am gonna go. No. Don't know what I want. What do I want to do? Here's where I'm struggling is I'm like, I gotta figure out what I was gonna do because that's fine. I think I'm fine. Okay.
Putting you in a brain blender here, Zach.
You are. Well, I think I realize that I have one fairly big hole that if I don't fill it, it's going to be a problem. So, okay, I'll just go ahead. I'll go Ben Barton, Wisconsin, defensive tackle.
Okay. All right, defensive tackle.
Yeah.
Ben, how do you spell his last name?
Barten.
Ten. All right, just making sure. Okay. All right, I'm going to keep filling out my linebackers here, and I'm going to go with where's he at? There he is. Mateo Uyunglele, who is technically an outside linebacker via the Oregon website. So a little cheat there for me. I'm going to go with Mateo Uyunglele as my linebacker.
That's dirty.
Yeah, that is dirty.
That's so dirty. Oh my goodness. Oh no. Oh, okay. This is bad.
Trojan fight! Don't you worry. We will get to wide receivers soon. I have some plans for wide receivers. Trojan fight. Talking about Jacoby Lane there.
Oh man. Yikes. All right.
Bobby Mack says, are we going to do an all Big Ten team? We will. I have that on the schedule. We would do all Big Ten teams as we enter into the season. So, Bobby Mack, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. We appreciate that. But yes, we will definitely get to all Big Ten teams at some point. All right, Zach, is the pick in?
Oh, crap.
That is
Mateo,
not what the NFL teams say when they ask if the pick is in.
Oh no, okay. I know what I'm gonna do here. I'm just gonna take Jeremiah Smith.
All right. I was gonna say that's a pretty safe pick.
Yeah.
All right, Jeremiah Smith off the board. The Ohio State player off the board.
Oh.
All right. Now I have picked. So I'm going off teams that you have already picked. I'm leaving my linebacker spot open because if I have the opportunity to pick Aiden Fisher, I will, but I don't know if you're going to take my sleeper that I have for Indiana. So I will go with, because you have not picked this team yet, and I do not want you to take him. Well, no, I just said I wouldn't go with that team that early because there's too many picks. I will go with Aaron Graves, Iowa, as my defensive tackle.
That's a good pick.
You have not chosen Iowa yet. I feel like I have the opportunity to go there.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I like that.
Okay. I think I feel better now. Okay. I'm trying to think. So you.
Oh crap. Zach, you ready to pick?
Thanks for this. Thanks. I'll go. Marcus Watson Trent from Nebraska at linebacker.
Good pick there. Good pick there. I almost had him. I'm just gonna do MWT because I don't want to try to spell out the entire thing. Not that I couldn't. It's a lot of letters. Okay. All right. If I'm looking at my board now, I am looking at an opportunity for Rutgers. I need to figure out that running back spot. I've still not figured out what my running back is going to be. Honestly, I should have kept Purdue, and I would have flexed to Devin Mockabee there because I do feel like he's going to be a key point in that offense. And if they move the ball, but I can't do that now. Because I already took the Purdue. You know what? I was going to take this team. As my offensive line, but you have cornered me here, Zach, and you have made me pick somebody else. I will go with one Nicholas Singleton at running back.
Yeah.
So my Penn State offensive line pick remains open, but I think there's enough strong offensive lines in the Big Ten. I'll have another option.
Yeah, I think you're in good shape.
Thank you.
Okay. I'm trying to remember. So I have two safeties. You haven't taken anyone from USC yet, right?
They're all just roasting you in the chat. No, I have not taken anybody from USC yet.
All right. I will take Kamari Ramsey.
Kamari Ramsey. Okay. That's a good pick.
USC. At safety.
That's a good pick. I'm surprised. Well, you can't because you already took Smith. So, yeah. See, this is kind of a luxury now for me because I just have an Ohio State player I could put anywhere. Like I could, if it worst comes to worst, I could put Edric Houston at defensive tackle if I wanted to. The only players I'm not super sold on at the, like, I don't know if there's a single player here that I have that you have not taken already. You know what? There is one player I need to take because you've not taken this team yet. And this player led the Big Ten in interceptions a couple years ago, fell off a little bit last year, but I think he has the opportunity to make some noise this season. One Ricardo Hallman. Is that how you spell his last name? I think I got it right.
Yeah, you got it right. I do have a Wisconsin player, but
not him. Oh, you do it. Darn it. You did. Okay, you took Ben Barton.
Yeah.
Okay, that's okay though. I needed a cornerback, and I wasn't super sold on the cornerback option. So okay,
that's good.
All right.
I got to figure out. So the reason why I'm taking so long is I got to figure out what I'm going to do with Penn State. That's what I'm wrestling with right now.
Jeff makes a good point. He says Purdue will always be playing from behind, so hard to run Mockabee a lot. That's true. Yeah. That's true. It's just hard because like what like the hardest thing with Purdue right now is not that they don't have good players. I mean, they do have less good players than other Big Ten teams, obviously. But it's such an interesting depth chart because there are so few like guaranteed starters. Like I took CJ Nunnally, what was that, the fourth there? Because he was the sack and tackle for loss leader at Akron 2 years in a row. I think he's going to start at Purdue, but if we're being completely honest here, I don't know how much he plays. Like is he just a pass rushing dude? I don't think so. Not from what we saw at Akron, but at the same time, taking a G5 guy to come up to the Big Ten to be a starter, you just never know. So I'm hoping for the best there, but yeah, we'll see what happens. All right, have I stalled long enough? Do you have a pick?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I feel good now about the rest of my picks. I'm gonna make Indiana fans happy.
Okay, go for it.
Mikhail Kamara at edge.
At edge. See, I would have given you Mikhail Kamara at edge or linebacker.
Well, I have other plans for linebacker.
Is that how you pronounce? How do you spell it? Miki?
Yeah. Yeah, and Bubba, don't you worry. Don't you worry about a thing. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. Xavier Scott would have been a really good pick too.
Yeah.
I think I like Gabe. Better opportunity though. Not as a better player, but better. Maybe. I don't know. Xavier Scott would have been a really good pick too. All right. I feel like offensive line. Bobby Mack says, do you get to replace him if they get hurt? No. That's the other thing. You got to have some durability there as well. And that was honestly one of my things with Nicholas Singleton is he did get hurt a couple years ago. So is he going to get hurt again? But I don't think he will because he's got Katron Allen there. Like you got enough of a dynamic duo there. They should be good. But that's a good question, Bobby Mack. All right. I'm just gonna get this guy off the board because I don't really know where to go, and I feel like it's a safe pick. I'm gonna go Dylan Raiola at quarterback.
Raiola!
I think Dane Key is going to get a lot of targets this year. I'm not sure the running game is going to be I'm not going to say it's going to be bad, but you're only going to have really Emmett Johnson you trust running the ball. So I think this is going to be a team that passes the ball quite a bit this year. And even if Dylan Raiola throws 20 interceptions, I think he'll still throw for probably 3,000 yards. So I'm good with that.
That's good.
That's good fantasy logic, right? Go get Kirk Cousins. In NFL fantasy, he's going to throw for a lot of yards at the very least.
Yeah, I think so. I'm going to go Rayshon Benny, defensive tackle.
Oh, it was a stupid decision by me to not take Rayshon Benny. I thought about it, but I didn't do it. Zach, you've ruined me.
Well, to be fair, I was taking about 30 minutes per pick beforehand, so I think I ruined the podcast. So
no, you didn't ruin the podcast. You know what? No. I'm not gonna do that because I want to try and pick a team that you've not picked yet. You picked UCLA. You picked Indiana. You've picked Wisconsin. You've picked. Have we picked every team at this point? We've picked Washington. Wisconsin.
Neither of us have picked Rutgers yet.
Oh, okay. All right, that's what I'll do then. My pick for Rutgers, is C.J. Campbell.
Yeah, that's a really good pick.
I think, and after talking to a Rutgers fan on Twitter the other day, Rascal says, JR, great pick finally. I can't imagine why you think it'd be a great pick. That's funny.
Yeah.
C.J. Campbell Jr., I think, I think that Rutgers offensive line is better than some people give them credit for. As long as they remain injury-free this year, I think they should do a good job blocking for him. And C.J. Campbell, I think, is a pretty good back. He's no Kyle guy, but still a good back who can get some yards. Yeah. Philip says Maryland. We do have Dorian Fleming on here, tight end for Maryland, but I'm going to have to figure out something for Maryland because I did not have a backup plan for Maryland.
But you're going to figure it out more quickly than I did.
Maybe. Right now, they're my offensive line, and I'm not doing that. That would be a scary proposition.
Yeah. Minus a billion points. All right. I think because we have every team in there right now, I'm probably actually just going to go position by position. So I will go Darius Taylor at my second running back spot.
Okay. Good call. Darius Taylor. Where's Minnesota? There it is. All right, so Darius Taylor, good running back spot there. I did go away from Taylor because I didn't know with AJ Turner the possibility there, and obviously Coy Parrish was a pretty easy pick.
Yeah.
For Maryland. However, if I didn't get if you got Coy Parrish, I was going to take Kerry Brown probably at safety.
Yeah.
In that spot. So I feel like I need to pick my Maryland player here. Zach, you have you have no dog in the fight here, so just help me out. Should I pick Jalen Husky, the safety, or Dante Joyner, the cornerback at Maryland? I feel like both are pretty good options. I feel like Husky has a little bit better of an upside, but I also feel like there's so many better safeties. And I'm not trying to disrespect Husky here, but it's just such a heavy safety league. I did not see myself going for a Maryland safety in the league, but also Husky is, he's a good player for them. He's one of the better players on their team.
I'd go corner. I'd go corner.
You think Dante Joyner is who I need to go for the transfer?
I think it's all about how do you parlay for better players. And so, like, yes, Husky might be the best player on Maryland's team, but is he, like, how much worse is he than Caleb Downs?
Yeah. You know what I just thought of, though? If I take Husky, then I can take my Indiana safety, and I can take Aiden Fisher instead.
Oh.
So I'm respectfully going to deny the advice that you just gave me.
That just means your secondary is going to be more easy for Jeremiah Smith and Nick Marsh to light up. So,
well, okay. I'm doing my best. But also, my second cornerback, I don't really think I have another option for this team. If they had a good offensive line, I could do that, but this team is not really known for their offensive line play. So I feel like I need to keep that cornerback with this team that I'm thinking of. But I feel like I can swap to have Aiden Fisher at linebacker for me. All right.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's probably what I'll do. So
that's fair.
Okay.
All right. I'll go offensive line next. I think Iowa. I do think Iowa is going to be very good on the lines this year.
There you go. Making the Iowa fans happy, Zach.
Yeah.
Making the Iowa fans happy. All right. I will just go ahead and do it then. I will take Aiden Fisher. Is it Fisher?
Her. Yep.
Yeah. Say there's no C in there. Sometimes you get these fishers or these fish, and they got them in there. So, all right, I'm going to take Aiden Fisher. I think he's going to be the tackle leader in Big Ten this year. Personally, I feel like that's a good stat pick.
Yeah, I think it's really good.
Yeah. Trojan Fight asks, I thought Uyunglele was more of an edge. Look on the Oregon website, and he is listed as an outside linebacker. That was my trick of the draft.
Yeah, he was my number one edge, just FYI.
Which, if you drafted him as an edge, I probably wasn't going to be all that. Like, I wasn't going to say you couldn't. But because I feel like you can do the outside linebacker because he's listed as one. But,
I know. I'm just giving you a hard time.
Yeah.
I'll go Anto Saka from Northwestern.
That's a good pick. We both have Northwestern defensive ends. Look at this.
Yeah.
Anto Saka.
Yeah.
All right. I still have to figure out an offensive line. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, legit Northwestern might have one of the most underrated defensive lines in the conference this year.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we had them in the top half of our Big Ten defensive line rankings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we did. All right. So my issue here is I feel like I need to take an offensive line, but I don't know which offensive line to take because I could take Ohio State. I could take Ohio State. I feel okay about that. I feel better than okay about that. I can't take the Nebraska offensive line, which I think would be a good pick with Spindler and who's the tackle they got from Alabama? Starts with a P. I forget what his name is. Sorry. But I feel like there's a good pick there, but I already took Dylan Raiola, so I don't think I can do that. I can't take the Rutgers offensive line. That would be more of a sleeper pick as well. Can't take Oregon. Can't take Illinois. Can't take Indiana. Can't take Penn State. Oh boy, Zach, I've really put myself in a hole here. Am I really going to not take Max Clare so I can take the Ohio State offensive line instead of him? Yikes. What's an offensive line that's...
It wouldn't be the greatest pick, but I think you might be able to trust Sharon Moore's development.
That's a great point. Okay. That's a great point. That's what I'll do. I'll take the Michigan offensive line. I mean, they're going to run block well, if nothing else.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, smash.
So,
yeah.
Yes. That's the team name now. Pritchett. Thank you, Michael. Pritchett. I don't know how I forgot that. Pritchett.
Well, it's not like a bajillion players enter the transfer portal and,
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it's the smart pick with what we have left because I feel like I have to keep Ohio State for tight end for Max Clare. Dorian Fleming was my pick at tight end. I should have picked him sooner. That was a really good pick by you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I had toyed actually with taking Henrik Harburg at tight end, but I was like, I honestly did not like any other Maryland option.
Yeah. I mean, he has breakout potential, but it's not a sure thing, right?
Yeah.
Like a lot of this, you want to draft a sure thing.
Yeah.
So that's the hard part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So it's my pick.
Yes.
All right. I will go Manny Powell, Purdue.
Oh, that's right. The linebacker. You do like him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Manny Powell. All right. Excuse me. I'm going to go with my cornerback pick just because I know I'm going to take him, and I think I need some more time to talk, or to think. Andre Jordan Jr. liked him in the transfer portal for UCLA. Think he's going to do a good job this year. I think he's probably one of the better players on UCLA's team. So I don't know if he's going to be like an interception machine or anything like that, but I do think he's going to give him some good corner play this season. Yep. So Andre Jordan Jr., I think a nice little sleeper pick for UCLA.
Nice. Very good pick. Very good pick.
Thank you.
I will go DJ DeJaborme from Rutgers at my last linebacker.
That's a good one. All right, you're going to have to help me out in the spelling here.
It's DJABORME.
Oh, DJABORME. DeJaborme. Nice. Hey, impressive pronunciation skills there, Zach.
Thank you.
Oh boy, I'm in trouble.
Oh no. Oh, Michigan State. Oh.
I don't know what to do with Michigan State.
Well, you could.
I can't take Nick Marsh because you already took Nick Marsh.
You can take Jack Velling.
Oh, great idea. Thank you, Zach.
Yeah. And so you can still have an Ohio State receiver.
Or I said
tackle.
it at the beginning, Andrew Cusin.
Yeah. Yeah. I might
have to do that.
We're a bit more competitive here. I think that's good.
Yeah.
All right. Corner, Xavier Scott. He was my number one pick at corner.
I like how PK puts his subtle dig of Purdue in with the analysis of the draft. PK, excellent work. He said, well, Powell will have a lot of chances to tackle since they will be on the field most of the game. So, PK, excellent work there. The rivalry banter and everything else. All right, I'm sorry. What cornerback did you say?
Xavier Scott.
Oh, yeah. That's a good pick. That's a good pick indeed. I was wondering who you were going to go with Illinois. All right. Now, my issue here. So, what team do I have left? I've picked Illinois, Indiana, Iowa. I have not picked Maryland yet. Or no, I have the safety.
You have Ohio State left, and you have.
Is it USC?
Yeah, USC.
Okay, that's an easy one then. So, Mekhi Lemon.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good.
Yeah. Yeah. I got the Washington wide receiver and the USC wide receiver. All right. Wide receivers out west. Here we go.
There you go. AJ Harris from Penn State as my second corner.
Good pick at corner. That's a good pick at corner. So I will go with no Caleb Downs in the draft, but I will go with the young Edric Houston. I would go Caden McDonald if we're talking about like pure skill player, because I do think Caden McDonald's a better player than Edric Houston, but he's going to be a one tech and he's just not going to get the stats. So yeah.
And Edric Houston can develop into a Tyleek type player, I think.
Yeah. Well, he's a former defensive end turned defensive tackle, playing the 3-tech spot, so he should have some really good pass rush moves there in the middle, I feel like.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Last safety, Dylan Thieneman from Oregon.
Oh, you dog. That's a great pick. See, all you had to do was get your thoughts together, and you started picking really well.
Yeah,
wow.
Thank you. Yeah,
I gotta say, this is pretty stacked, man. We did a really good job with this.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. All right, so to recap, Zach, you want to read off your team and recap them?
Yeah, so I start out with Nico Iamaleava from UCLA, my running backs, Jonah Coleman and Darius Taylor from Washington and Minnesota. Wide receivers, Nick Marsh and Jeremiah Smith, Michigan State and Ohio State. Tight end from Maryland, Dorian Fleming. The Iowa offensive line. And then the defense, Mikel Kamara and Anto Saka are my edges. Ben Barton and Rayshon Benny are my defensive tackles. It's like my least favorite part of the team, but that's okay. Rayshon Benny's really good.
You Wisconsin hater.
I think Wisconsin has better players, including the one that you drafted. And then linebackers, Manny Powell, Marquez Watson, Trent, and DJ Dijaborame from Purdue, Nebraska, and Rutgers. Corner, Xavier Scott and AJ Harris from Illinois and Penn State. Safeties, Kamari Ramsey and Dylan Thieneman from USC and Oregon.
Nice. Yeah, you got the safeties out west. I got the wide receivers out west.
Yeah.
Let us know in the chat who you guys think will win. We'll go through and we'll try to figure out who you guys are saying. So put either Z or J in the chat for Zach or JR, who you think will win. So my team, Dylan Raiola, I think he's going to throw a lot this season with Dana. I almost said Dana Altman, Dana Holgerson, Dana Altman. Well, if he's coaching Nebraska, we got issues. Nicholas Singleton and C.J. Campbell Jr. At my running back positions. Really like that. Denzel Boston, Mekhi Lemon. I really am happy with that, considering how long I took to choose my my last wide receiver there. Thanks to Zach, I got Jack Velling at tight end. Love that. On the line of scrimmage, we are just doubling it up with the Michigan Wolverines. Got the all-Michigan line of scrimmage here on my team. Then I have the defensive ends of C.J. Nunnally, the fourth, and Aiden Hubbard from Purdue and Northwestern. Then I got the Iowa big man defensive tackle, possibly the best player on their team entering the season. We'll see if Mark Kronowski has anything to say about that one. Aaron Graves in the middle. Edric Houston alongside him. Gabe Yakis, Mateo Uyunglele, and Aiden Fisher as my linebackers. I think that's probably the strongest part of my team right there, the linebackers. I think I really killed it with them. Ricardo Holman, Andre Jordan Jr. as my cornerbacks from Wisconsin, UCLA. And then I feel like going into the draft, I wanted like some star-studded names for safety, and I think I got Coy Parrish as a star-studded name. But Jalen Husky, I think, could be a sleeper there to get me some points. Maybe I don't think he's going to beat out Dylan Thieneman, but he might give a run for Kamari Ramsey. But we'll see. We'll have to see what Oregon does with Dylan Thieneman this year, because that's another big part of it too.
Yeah.
So
I think your linebackers and your defensive tackle duo is very stout. And your skill positions, you getting Singleton, if I didn't, you locked me into getting to Minnesota because I didn't want to take anyone else other than Darius Taylor. Otherwise I would have taken Singleton at running back, but I think that's a really, really good pick with him and C.J. Campbell. Denzel Boston I think you guys know how much I love Denzel Boston.
Yeah.
Mekhi Lemon's great. Jack Velling, I think, is going to have a bounce back year here. I don't know how we're going to weight stats for offensive lines, but I think Michigan's offensive line is going to be better than people think.
Yeah. Maybe. I mean, we'll see. I mean, Michigan's always going to have good run blocking on their offensive line. You know, it's always been the pass protection, right? But I feel like they're going to put more of an emphasis on that
with Bryce Underwood this year. Look, Sharon Moore had some times last year with his in-game management where it could have been better, but he's no dummy. Like, he knows what he's doing with the offensive line. Like, they're going to do a good job there. So, yeah, I mean, if I'm looking really fast, and then we'll get out of here, I think it's a push at quarterback. I think you probably win running back, but it's close. I think you probably win wide receiver just because you got Jeremiah Smith. I think I win tight end with Jack Velling. No offense to Dorian Fleming. I think that's a close push as well. I think offensive line, that's a push as well. I might give a slight lean to you. Defensive ends, I would give to you because you got Mikel Kamara. But I think I got defensive tackles. I got linebackers.
Yeah.
You got corners. And then depending on how good Coy Parrish is, it might be a push at safety, but you probably have a slight lean at safety.
Yeah. I was going to say, I think you have a couple spots where there's some question marks. But if they hit, it's certainly a push. Yeah. But I think the big question is will they actually hit? I think that's similar. Like, I think Ben Barton could be really good for Wisconsin, but he's
just not a sure thing to be really good. He's a sure thing to be a good player. I think they're relying on him this season, but I don't think there's any sure thing that he's going to be like fantastic or anything. We have to see it first.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, this is fun.
This was really fun.
Yeah.
Jeff suggested we do this, and really good suggestion from Jeff. Maybe we let Jeff pick who the better offensive line is at the end of the year, Iowa or Michigan.
Yeah. I'd be curious if Jeff, having seen our teams, if he could make a third squad based off of who we didn't pick. And I think he could.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely could. He wouldn't have as many star players on his team. Like, he would probably get Katron Allen. Who's another running back that I'm forgetting? There's another running back up there that I'm forgetting.
I mean, he could, Katron Allen is up there. He could get either of the Michigan running backs.
Mm-hmm. He could get Julian Sayin at quarterback if he wanted to.
Dante
Luke
Moore.
Altmaier's up there too. I don't know if Luke Altmaier's going to get the stats really, but he's up there too.
Yeah. I mean, Caleb Downs is still out there at safety. There's still some good
Downs.
D'Angelo Pons.
Jeff, I was just thinking the same thing as I was reading off those safeties. I was like, neither of us took the best safety. He said you ought to do really well to not have Caleb Downs pick, though. Man, I feel you. It's just one of those things where it's like, I wanted to pick Caleb Downs because you got Jeremiah Smith, but I just didn't know. I could have taken Joyner at cornerback, but if I took Joyner at cornerback, I don't know what I would have done with UCLA with the spots that I had left.
Yeah.
So I had to take Husky, but then that kept me from Downs.
This is a very...
You are exactly right, PK. Fernando Mendoza will get stats. The problem is, so will Kamara, so will Fisher, so will Farrell, so will Pons. There are so many others. So will Surratt. Like, Indiana had some of those dudes as well that you kind of saved up because there were a number of guys you could have done there. Sorry, what were you saying?
Well, I was just going to say, I feel like that this exercise was helpful because it made you think. Again, it made you think where you had to go with certain teams, which I think helps you understand where teams are going to be strong. But yeah, like UCLA, I'm like, I don't have, like, I think corner and quarterback are the most sure things. And not that Nico is a sure thing, but like, I feel better about him than anybody else on UCLA's team.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah, I get that.
And yeah, like, Washington, like, I really like Washington, but outside of Jonah Coleman and Denzel Boston, like, there's a lot of hype around certain players. Damon Williams is a potential quarterback pick too. But like,
if we're doing rushing stats, like he would kill it with the rushing combined with the passing. That was one of the reasons why I didn't take Damon Williams, is because I was like, how much are we gonna involve rushing with it?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's it. Really good draft. Jeff, if you're still out there listening, if you want to put together a third team, email it to me by tomorrow. I'll put your third team on the graphic as well that I post on a Tuesday morning, and we can have some fun with that. So,
sure you'll get Downs or somebody like that we didn't get, because there's a number of players that we didn't get that you could get. So yeah, put that together if you want, Jeff, and send that to me. Everybody who listened and who was here with us, we really appreciate it. Always appreciate you guys listening and showing up. Makes it fun and very, very good. And yep, Joe, I'm with you, man. I'm excited for this season. So many great players. Just such a great conference this season. I don't think there's going to be an undefeated team in the conference this year. I think it's just too good. I think we have too many good teams. And I think it's going to be really, really exciting to watch.
Yep. Agreed.
Yeah.
Very exciting.
It is.
A month and a half away.
Oh my gosh. Can't wait. Media days next like a week and a half, somewhere in that range. So yeah, week from Tuesday. So Bobby Mack says 48 days. Wow. 48 days. That's awesome. So thank you, Illini Bubba. Thank you, everybody else. The encouragement. Really appreciate it. Zach, you got anything else you want to get to before we get out of here?
Nope. Thanks for joining us, guys. I'm sorry I was a little slow in the middle of that, but we got it together.
They're just going to post your quote all the time.
So. Oh, crap.
Crap. Zach, do you have a pick? Oh, crap.
Did my best New York Jets impression, my best Las Vegas Raiders impression, my best Cleveland Browns impression. Sorry, what?
Yeah, don't do your best Cleveland Browns impression. Nobody wants to see that. Max says Josh Pate to the Big Ten Huddle next month, or to the Big Ten next month. Yeah, we'll see what happens. What do you have any thought on that? Do you think Pate's going to On 3 or what?
Oh, I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, so he paused his show and nobody really knows why. He said they're working on something, and then Shannon Terry, the On 3 guy, quote tweeted it. What did he quote tweeted it with like a wink or something like that? It was something like a smirk or something like that. So yeah, it's interesting.
Interesting.
When we have news on it, we'll let you know. Thanks for being here, everybody. Zach, thanks for coming on. We appreciate it. We'll see you Tuesday night. Have a good one. See you later.